Hello everyone, this is Mr. Lipchick, and today we are going to discuss physical geography. Physical geography is defined as the science that examines both the characteristics and the process of our world's natural environment. The natural environment is divided into four spheres. The geosphere, which is the solid matter of the earth, as distinct from the seas, plants, animals, and surrounding atmosphere. The hydrosphere, which is the water on or surrounding the surface of the globe, including the water of the oceans and the water in the atmosphere. The biosphere, which is the part of the Earth's crust, waters, and atmosphere that supports life. And the atmosphere, which is the gaseous envelope surrounding the Earth. The Earth may appear to be solid and unchanging, but in fact it is very dynamic. Dynamic means of or pertaining to force related to motion. So in other words, the Earth is constantly in motion, even though it looks stable to us sitting here on the ground. There is consensus among scientists that the Earth was formed about 4.6 billion years ago. A cloud of dust and gases collapsed in on itself and subjected the nebulous center to a pressure so great and intense that it created an intense heat. The intense heat from the collapse of the dust and gas clouds started a nuclear fusion chain reaction that resulted in the creation of the sun. As this was occurring, solid particles began to clump together in the cooler outer reaches of the nebula. As more and more pieces smashed into each other, they formed asteroids, planets, and moons. And the Earth became the planet third closest to the sun. The most accepted scientific theory for the creation of the universe is the Big Bang Theory. The theory hypothesizes that 13.7 billion years ago, the universe developed from the explosion of an infinitesimally small, infinitely dense speck. It also holds that the universe is constantly expanding. This is credited to the astronomer Edwin Powell Hubble, for whom the Hubble Space Telescope is named. The Earth's core. The Earth's inner core is a solid metal ball consisting of nickel and iron. The outer core is a molten liquid mix of iron and nickel. The molten iron core of the outer core creates the Earth's magnetic field, so that when you walk around with a compass, you will get readings as to where you're at. The Earth's combined core is approximately 2,162 miles thick. The Earth's mantle. The Earth's mantle encircles the core and is 83% of the planet's volume. It is approximately 1,795 miles thick and divided into the lower mantle and the upper mantle. The uppermost part is cooler and more brittle. Together, with the Earth's crust, it forms the lithosphere. The lithosphere is the crust and upper mantle of the Earth. The Earth's mantle. Below the lithosphere lies the asthenosphere. Temperature and pressure in this region causes the rock to soften and become malleable. Movement in the asthenosphere causes the tectonic plates to move. And the lower mantle is more solid because of the increased pressure. The Earth's crust. The Earth's top layer is known as the crust. It varies in thickness from 4 to 46 miles and is thin in comparison to the mantle and the core. There are two types of crust. One, continental crust, which is older and thicker, and two, oceanic crust, which is newer and thinner. Sorry for the misspelling there. The crust is broken into tectonic plates that cause volcanoes, tsunamis, and earthquakes when they rub together. Plate tectonics. In 1915, Alfred Wenger introduced the theory of continental drift. He noticed that some continents seemed to fit like jigsaw pieces. Similar fossils were found on different continents. So he theorized that at one time the Earth was a single giant mass he called Pangaea. Most scientists rejected his claims until the 1960s. Mythology, Atlantis. There's a lot of mythology surrounding physical and cultural geography. The Greek philosopher Plato wrote about Atlantis in a moral allegory concerning the destruction of a civilization by the gods who were angry at the corruption of man. Some believe it was inspired by events that destroyed the Minoan civilization on Crete and Thera. While some people believe that this is a mythical sunken kingdom and that it exists, a majority of scientists reject the story. There has been no hard evidence that Atlantis exists or existed. The continents. A continent is one of 7 of the largest unbroken landmasses on the planet. And there are 7 of them: Africa, Antarctica, Asia, Australia, Europe, and North America, and South America. Sometimes Europe and Asia are referred to together as Eurasia, since they are basically joined together as one big landmass. Not all continents are completely separated from others. Some continents have divisions in the form of large islands. For example, Greenland is considered a part of the North American continent, as large as it is. And that is not really an accurate representation there, because that's a Mercator map, which is basically a flattened out globe that does not give you a realistic perspective, although Greenland is very, very big. New ideas about the shapes and location of the continents began to form as Europeans began the age of exploration in the 15th and 16th centuries. And the continental system was formalized in the 19th century. The 5 oceans. The oceans of the world are actually all the same body of salt water. They're all interconnected. Because of their geologic and oceanographic properties, they are broken down into the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, and the Southern Ocean. Oceans are represented by the color blue on maps and globes. The water is transparent, though, and the blue appearance is actually a reflection of the sky. Water will reflect the color of its surroundings. The Atlantic Ocean. This is the second largest ocean in the world. It separates North and South America from Europe and Africa. It extends from the Arctic Ocean to Antarctica. The Pacific Ocean is located between North and South America to the east and Asia and Australia to the west. It is the largest ocean of the world. And it is the deepest ocean, with 36,201 feet as its maximum depth. The Indian Ocean. It was the latest ocean to form. It is surrounded by India, Pakistan, and Iran to the north, by the Malay Peninsula to the east, to the west by the Arabian Peninsula and Africa, and to the south by Antarctica. The Arctic Ocean. It is the smallest ocean on the planet, surrounded by pack ice all year. And it surrounds the North Pole between North America, Europe, and Asia. The Southern Ocean consists of water surrounding the continent of Antarctica, and it was designated in the year 2000 as an ocean. The Earth's atmosphere. The Earth's atmosphere is a thin layer of gases that surrounds our world and makes life possible. It protects life on Earth from solar radiation and extreme climate. The early atmosphere had little or no oxygen. And today's atmosphere is a mixture of several gases, primarily nitrogen and oxygen, with smaller amounts of water, carbon dioxide, and ozone in the mix. The Earth's atmosphere consists of several layers. The troposphere, which is where the weather occurs. The stratosphere, which includes an ozone layer that absorbs ultraviolet radiation. The mesosphere, where temperatures are reduced to about 90 degrees centigrade. The thermosphere, which has very little air. The ionosphere, which is an iron-rich region of the thermosphere that allows for the transmission of radio signals. And the exosphere, where atmosphere emerges with interplanetary space. Some tools of geography. Location is the primary theme of geography, where things are in relation to one another. Some tools for measuring and determining location are tangible, such as maps, compasses, GPSs, and the Richter scale. Others are artificial constructs such as the global grid system, which includes latitude, longitude, the equator, the hemispheres, and the prime meridian. Longitudinal lines run north to south encircling the globe, and latitudinal lines run east to west encircling the globe. And the prime meridian is 0 degrees longitude. That's where the scale starts. Climate. Climate is defined as the weather conditions prevailing in an area in general or over a long period of time. Climate, determined by geography, has a dramatic effect on the development of cultures and societies. Mild European climates gave the peoples there an advantage over other societies where severe weather and poor soil basically held them back from producing abundant food and living a longer life. Okay, that concludes our talk on physical geography. Thank you for your attendance, and I look forward to seeing you in the live lesson. Have a great day.